Richard Dawkins, whom I quoted earlier in a speech, is a good postmodernist when he writes in his recent book, The God Delusion, I quote, "I am not attacking any particular version of God or gods. I am attacking God, all gods, anything and everything supernatural, wherever and whenever they have been or will be invented." End of quote. In this basic tenet of their unbelief, postmodernists are true sons and daughters of the modernism of Rousseau and Darwin. But postmodernism draws out the implications of the abolishing of God. Therefore, a second fundamental feature of postmodernism is the teaching that there is no objective truth. There is no reality out there anywhere. By this denial, postmodernism means three things. By denying any objective truth or reality, postmodernism means, first of all, we cannot know the truth about anything. We cannot know the truth about the universe and its workings. We cannot know any truth about history. We cannot know any truth about social life, family, marriage, and friendship. We cannot know anything true about the right way to live in any respect whatsoever. And we cannot know truth about ourselves. For there is no foundation, says postmodernism, for any certain knowledge of anything. And therefore, postmodernism is also called anti-foundationalism. It denies that there is any foundation for knowledge. We see here why we began this conference with a sermon on the authority of Holy Scripture. Postmodernism brings starkly to our attention necessary implication and certain fruit of denying the authority of Scripture as the inspired and therefore infallible, clear, and reliable revelation of God. All knowledge of things and all explanation of things uses language, postmodernism points out, and all language is incapable of describing anything truly. Indeed, all language is deceptive. All language about anything at all is an attempt by the speaker or the writer to get power over others. Here, postmodernism differs from modernism, which had faith in reason and strong faith in science to explain the world. Second, postmodernism abolishes the truth by denying that anything has any meaning whatsoever. The existence of the universe is meaningless. World War II and the victory of the Allies are meaningless. The birth of Jesus Christ, if it happened, was meaningless. The life of each one of us is absolutely devoid of any meaning whatsoever. But third, postmodernism intends more with its abolition of truth than only that we can know nothing as true and that nothing has any meaning whatsoever. Absurd as this seems to us, postmodernism's abolition of truth means that there is no world out there for us to discover and know. There is no history of nations and individuals. There is not even a personal individual self. Postmodernism denies the objective existence of a personal self. We suppose that there is a world out there. We suppose that we are individual selves who exist. But in fact, that world out there does not exist. Nor does what I suppose to be my personal self exist as a reality, apart from our thinking, our speaking, and our feeling. It is a fundamental feature of postmodernism that man himself creates all truth for himself. Man himself decides what truth is about everything. If man decides that the evil of murdering 8 1/2 months old unborn babies is the great good of honoring the free choice of a pregnant female, this is the truth about abortion. Man has decided it. Not only does man create truth about everything, man himself gives meaning to everything. If man today views the American Revolution as wrong because white European males, for example, George Washington, intended to oppress Indians, women, and blacks, the American Revolution was wrong. And if man decides that the current activities of black lesbian females is a genuine and good movement, it becomes a good movement because man himself gives meaning to everything. And here, the ultimate absurdity of the postmodernist position in its abolition of truth, man himself brings the universe into existence. I beg you to believe me when I tell you that this is what the postmodernists are teaching. You yourself, by your conceiving of a world out there, bring the universe into existence. Man creates truth and reality by his language. Postmodernism emphasizes the importance of language, of speaking and writing, the importance, therefore, of the word. All language, it contends, is deceptive and powerful. Language is always the attempt, it says, by powerful persons or groups to keep others in subjection. That is true, first of all, of the Bible. Males wrote the Bible. Males described marriage, family, and church in such a way as to empower males and enslave females. This is also true, says postmodernism, of history books written by Western scholars. Past writing of history, says postmodernism, was merely the attempt to empower white European males. Because postmodernism regards all language and writing as deceptive, as nothing but an attempt by some to enslave and subjugate others, postmodernists engage in tearing all writings to shreds. They call this deconstruction. That's another word that's worth your learning if you have not heard it before. Let me give you a brief example of what it meant.